For ideological criticism project, the theory I chose is symbolic convergence theory, and the culturally relevant communication intensive phenomenon that I chose is behavior of smoke. Although the dangers of smoking are very well known, people still smoke. When a group of people sit around a cigar store smoking, if the conversation shifts from college basketball to the dangers of smoking, whether people think that smoking is harmful is not the key to whether they chose to smoke or not. Symbolic convergence theory is concerned with how groups react to stories about smoking. Therefore, in studies on the phenomenon of smoking, according to the symbolic convergence theory, the research hypothesis will be that it is the group's reaction to stories about smoking that determines whether people choose to smoke or not. The narratives about the dangers of smoking, for example, have the desired effect, or do cigar store patrons snicker with understanding in support of the pro-smoking view, will either get carried away and rush to use their stories to prove that smoking isn't really bad. Symbolic convergence theory holds that we can find fantasy chain reaction based on the increased energy within a group, accelerated conversation pace, and especially the consistent response to imagination as clues to find fantasy chain reaction. Symbolic convergence is a dialogue process in which group members from a sense of community, intimacy, cohesion, consistency, and unity. Most imaginations don't have a ripple effect because they are not taken seriously. But once one has captured a certain imagination of the group members, a similar fantasy theme can burst forth through multiple narratives. The main character in each person's account might have been a well-known cigar smoker, each of them old and disease-free, such as American comedian George Burns, Winston Churchill, Cuban leader Fidel Castro, Emmy winner Milton Bell, and so on. Some of the imagery may also reflect Nazi administration's officials restricting smokers' ability to smoke in public. Whatever the theme of imagination, by sharing a common imagination, a rebel can be transformed into a cohesive group to make the behavior of smoking prevailing. This is the process of symbolic convergence. Through symbolic convergence, individuals establish a sense of community or a sense of group. Singular expressions like I, me, and mine give way to collective pronouns, we, us, and ours. When group members share a series of imaginary themes, they feel closer to each other. In addition to examples of old and disease-free smokers, group stories are also likely to focus on topics such as the difference between cigars and other cigarettes, the safety of moderate smoking, conflicting scientific findings related to cancer caused by smoking, greater risks than smoking in everyday life, and the wholesome relaxation that comes with a good cigar. A rhetorical vision will be formulated as a vision defined as a statement of social reality if the same generic imaginative theme is repeated in multiple groups. The concept of rhetorical vision makes the theory of symbolic convergence go beyond the original context of small groups. A coherent rhetorical vision can be transmitted and strengthened by repeated media information. For example, when a magazine trumpets the delights of cigars, a series of the above-mentioned imaginary themes will be repeated, leading to the sharp increase of the number of cigar smokers in the country. A completely theme in which a simple code, slogan, or nonverbal symbol can inspire a rhetorical vision. Any criticism of the cigar from family and friends is enough to set off a new round of demur from regular customers in the cigarette shop where the theme of imagination is expressed. Thus, the theory of symbolic convergence can explain the collision of ideas and the propagation of consciousness in the crowd.